Hey, it's John. Today, I'm answering the question, is my leadership team ready to take control of my business? It's a question that comes up quite often with clients. Equally, it comes up from the leadership team, and they're ready and raring to take control and to get on with things. But as the owner, you are naturally apprehensive about handing over the reins of control straight away. So when are they ready, and how long does it take for a leadership team to be in the position that they can take over the business? There's no simple answer. It's not like a light switch where you sort of flick it on and flick it off. And I know a lot of owners would like to be in that position where they put the leadership team in place and off they go into the sun. It's going to take you a few years, at the minimum a few months. So 5 things that I think you can do, in my opinion, based on the experience I've had with other business owners. The first thing is to make sure you have the right leadership team. You know, it's often said the people who got you to where you are right now are not the people who are going to take you to where you want to go in the future. And there's a lot of truth in that. So in selecting your leadership team, be very careful to make sure that they have the skills, the knowledge, the experience to take your business to where you want to grow it, scale it, get it ready and valuable for an exit. Choose the right people. I think it's the most important step in the process. And if you are amongst the 20-odd% who don't need to make any changes to the leadership team, then count yourself very lucky. The next thing is make sure that your business has a very clear sense of purpose, and the reason that you started the business and why it exists, and make sure that the leadership team understands that. A business that has a clear purpose is typically better run, decisions are made better, and overall is more valuable. So be clear on what the purpose of the business is. Revisit that. Go back to why you started the business in the first place. Communicate that to the leadership team and make sure they understand that. The next thing is put the right systems in place. So a great leadership team combined with the right systems is what's going to make your business successful. The way to do this is to sit with the leadership team and to go through each of the roles and to go through all of the processes and the responsibilities of those roles and to document them. So what happens in terms of raising an invoice and how the process is run, and what happens when there's a problem with a creditor, or what happens when there's a problem with a supplier. How do we handle these things and kind of work through those and coach them and create a standard set of operating guidelines. And I know it sounds like a lot of work, but one of the things you don't want to be is over-reliant on any one person on the leadership team or within the company as a whole. And having a well-written, well-established set of guidelines or procedures means that if something happens to somebody along the way, it's easy to train their replacement. So put the systems in place that support the leadership team. That's going to take a lot of work if you don't have them in place already, and you're going to need to work with your newly formed leadership team or existing team to create those. The next thing is take a vacation. So take the time off, start with a few days to see what happens when you're away. Block out the day that you come back, so when you return to the office, you can take the time with a team to figure out what went wrong while you're away and coach them through what they need to do differently in the future, and then add that to your guidelines and operating procedures. And then just gradually extend the time that you're away. So a few days to begin with, then a week, then a month. And I've spoken to a lot of very successful business owners who've created that value and who've got to the point where the business runs without them. And this is the approach that they've taken. They've put the leadership team in place, created the systems that team needs, been very clear on the purpose of the business, and then gradually stepped away so that the team can sort of take control for a period of time. And if there's a problem, you're able to come back to identify how to deal with that problem and to document it. And finally, there will be turbulence. There are going to be times when, just like an aircraft, pilot switches on onto autopilot. encounters bad weather and the autopilot goes beep, 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 take control again. So that there'll be times that the leadership team needs you to sort of step back into the day-to-day operations with them, take control, coach them through the turbulence, through whatever issues they're facing, and then hand back control to them. And this is a coaching process. Overall, you're in for probably 2 years. I mean, it can be sooner, it could be 6 months, but think about it in terms of a period of 2 years that you're going to be involved in coaching and handing the business over to the team.